while we're here, you can see we're on the CV link. It jets this way, it crosses the street, keeps on, right? I'm pretty sure where the person got hurt was on this street, but they call it the link, right? So I'm pretty sure it was either right here or just off of here, one way or the other, that someone recently was stabbed. I mean, it sounds like it was kind of, they were punctured in the process of getting hit. Is what it sounded like, but assaulted. But they're calling this the CV link, and to me, this is not the CV link, really. It's the same street it's been for the last 3-4 decades, you know, in every way except for this, you know, the railing's been painted, and now you got a crosswalk, you know. Good, chill out here just so you can. This is a total mess too right now. They got the light structures up, but they're not on. So I believe somebody got hit here and died just the other day, probably taken by surprise by something like that. Well, we got the tour coming up on Saturday. It's really unfortunate it's not going to route through here, I don't think. I could be wrong. I think it's going to hit the CV link down in La Quinta and Indio for 5 minutes, but that's about it. I assume it's because of their ability to get towns to let them route everything else, because that's the problem with an unfinished CV link, or with the cities that didn't participate. Not participating is you got a bunch of disconnections. So this is the CV link combined with the golf course here, right? For the longest time at that intersection, they had a couple of sawhorses with signs on, stop signs on it. And forever it was like this battle between the people who live there and the people walking through there as to which way the stop signs pointed. They finally resolved the issue by putting a yield sign. I think everybody's happy with that. Some of our Canadian friends here. What's going on, guys? I don't know, I think the weather's quite nice, friend. Good old friendship circle. As a bicyclist, I've learned not to comment to dogs, because they tend to get set off if you do. A couple of fingers is usually the way to go. I think it's the proximity thing, right? You say hello and, you know, or whatever, you try to be nice, but to a dog it just sounds like it's coming right at them, so the immediate instinct is to attack. So no matter what you say or do, it's like, just stay constant and don't make any noise. And stay low, don't stand up in the saddle. That's the other one I've learned, because that's a threat. Right? You're showing dominance by getting tall. They don't like that. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't think it's going to come through here. I could be totally wrong. I understand why it's not going to go underneath Gene Autry. You don't want to route hundreds of cyclists through that drop-down tunnel. Now, if I recall, it's going to come back over Dinah Shore. They're going to route it along Dinah Shore back in. I can't say I'm looking forward to that part of the ride. I think the last 20 miles I'm actually pretty familiar with. And I'll be honest, the route just sucks donkey, especially if there's a lot of wind that day. Like the natural wind, usually you're going right into it the way they're going. That and a lot of steep, couple of, it's not steep, like super steep, but steep enough. And because at the end of the ride, you know, you're 70, 80 miles into it, you don't want to be doing those kinds of climbs. So that's what I'm actually dreading. Everything else I think is going to be pretty cool. I know there's quite a bit of climbing to do on the north side of town, but I've done it before on a single speed. Granted, a much higher torque, lower geared single speed, but I'm really less concerned about that. I'm concerned about the climb up through Sky Valley, and then that climb I was just talking about, a couple of climbs in like the Rancho Cathedral City area that they're sending us through. Everything else should be pretty damn fun. Pretty straightforward. I'm not like out there to set any records, so no matter what I do, it'll be the first or the fastest, most official time I've ever had, because it'll be my first. At least at the 100 plus. There you go. Look at all the verbena, sand verbena. It really popped out in the last 2 weeks, last week and a half, along with everything else. So you got to imagine a cluster of like several hundred cyclists and understand that those clusters exist throughout the whole ride, probably more so in the smaller miles, but still they exist. So imagine if they were to come through this next mile. If you think anybody would crash or have trouble, good morning. You know, two cyclists side by side, no trouble. But this stretch right here, like look at this crack. Nobody dares complain about any of what I'm going to talk about, because, and rightly so, because we want access to this. We don't want anyone shutting it down. But like, oh, there's a as we go around this, there's a crack. It's been taking cyclists down. There's a bunch of mud around it there on the left. Morning. Anyway, as I say, nobody dare complain about all that stuff, because no one wants to lose access. It's very nice of the golf resort to share this pathway with the CV link so that we can roll on through. Everybody wins. But I think I can certainly understand why they're not going to try to route the tour through this. Or even up Talkeet's Creek, as glorious as it might be. A ride, it's just not appropriate for such a high bandwidth event. And it is high bandwidth. Even in off years. What's going on, Corvus? Huh? Gronk, gronk. Works out to 135 bucks, I think. So my plan today is to hit like 70 miles, maybe 80 if I got it in me, just to kind of really push the muscles one last time. And then I'm not going to do squat for 3 days. I'm going to do an upper body tomorrow, but give the legs lots of rest before Saturday, which is going to be, today's Tuesday, so So really it's going to be, what, 3 or 4 nights of rest before Saturday. Hopefully nothing happens with the house, and then we can give it our all on Saturday. And boy, we're gonna need it, because all we got is this little single speed here to do about 2.5. What is it? It's like 256 or 259 or something. It's like 2.6 thousand elevation is what I'm trying to say, which is nothing for most people that do any amount of long distance stuff. But I don't do that much elevation, so it's my weak spot, or my unknown, my blind spot. So I gotta make a little thing here. This is just so we understand what's going on. You got cars stopping here, right? Look at this. And then you have bicycles stopping way over here. Okay? Forgive me, I'm making a little video thing here. So the bicycle, right, is if they're just on any kind of reasonable bicycle, if they're not a race bicyclist and they don't have a motor, the cars stop. You got a line of cars. The bike has to come from here all the way across. And that might seem like nothing right there when nobody's there, but let me tell you, when there's a whole bunch of cars sitting there staring you down, it can be an overwhelming thing. And when we talk about what's pedestrian friendly and what's not pedestrian friendly, little things like that really come into play. The other problem that has, and I've witnessed it, I've experienced it, is you do that at night and the cars just straight up don't see you. What's going on, guys? You're too far around the corner. They can't tell you're there. Even if you got your lights on and everything else, they can't tell. Brush. They're just everywhere. Look at that right now. Everywhere the eye can see. tell you, if there was ever a time to be on psychedelic drugs, now would be the time. Unfortunately, I gotta get on for the rest of the day. There you go. My little dip into the valley every time I ride. Look around your left, guys. You're good. Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
Sorry about that.
You're welcome. No problem.
Pretty sure this sidewalk and that bridge have been here for decades, but it's now the CV link, so you get mixed traffic in here unexpectedly. See a canyon or a crevice just above these buildings to the left, and the rocks behind, that's Taquit's Canyon, and this is Taquit's Creek, right? So it goes way back, cuts across. And this is Palm Canyon. We can get it to do this. So we're at Lulu's, Kaiser. Watch the light. See what happens there. See that? How the how does anyone suppose it's like a mean trick to play on a single speed or a fixie? It's just terrible. Morning, guys. Cheery bunch waiting to tell you all about your Lord and Savior. Something to that effect. Cool little cottage here. Old school California. Here's the old graveyard. It's 9 o'clock on Tuesday. We did 60 miles so far. I just checked. We're on like 59 and change. So I'm going to swap batteries here and we're going to cross the highway, take the CV link home, and just do our regular across 38 or Frank Sinatra. And that should give us 85 miles easy for today. It's a good little jaunt in preparation for the tour. See the city's limit sign across the highway there. One of two famous signs. The other one's by the airport. Didn't look. It's possible the lesser mileage races, the people that are doing the 30 miler and the 60 miler, it's possible they will route them around the CV link. I didn't think about that. The reason that 100 mile isn't is because it's going all the way up in the Sky Valley, which is way far away from the link. So, but I don't know. I haven't looked. Really is no experience like this. It's just crazy. The sign said 6.6 miles of this. You count going all the way down to Rancho. And as cool as this part is, I think the most interesting part is actually down in the south part of town. Down in the wash, mixed up with the golf course. It's like an e-ticket ride down there. Amazing. You okay?
Okay, thank you.
This is my favorite little stretch, if I'm being honest. Totally groovy in here. Go back into the trees. It's all flowy. Wide open. Morning, guys. Guys, I've seen so many cyclists today. Cathedral City stop. Did you see it? Did you see it? It was real fast. You gotta, if you blinked, you missed it. You might have blinked it. Sorry, I should have counted it off. You saw the sign though, right? Another piece of modern engineering on the part of Cathedral City. They really put a lot of effort into it. I don't know if it's somebody's nephew or like how they hand out the work, but it's pretty clear that whoever's doing it's like just phoning it in, you know, just well, it looks right on paper from here. one of those kinds of things. Here we are at the crossroads. What is it, like probably 9:30, 10, something like that. We've been through the downtown Palm Springs a couple of times. We've been through Indio. We've been through 2 barrios. We've been through, no, 3. And we've just come through literally the very dregs, the wash and dregs of Cathedral City, complete with 1 alarm fire response in character, in keeping with what the city usually has on offer in terms of drama. But nothing will compare, nothing will come anywhere near as dangerous as what we're about to do, which is enter and cross the city of Rancho Mirage on a bicycle or as a pedestrian, either way. It's by far the most dangerous thing. The only thing that comes close is to ride around Sun City. That's another one. So we're in the bike lane right now, officially. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lanes of vehicular traffic. No room for us out there. Not according to the good folks of Rancho Mirage. Check out this intersection that Homeboy's nephew laid out in 1986 or something like that. It's about as safe as it gets these days. It's just a big parking lot that people try to escape from as soon as possible, or get through as soon as possible, unless you're staying at the hotel. You see it? Like, I'm supposed to cross that right here, right there. That dude would have had to have stopped from like 35, 40 miles an hour in order not to hit me if I didn't just fly through that. I'll never get up there. No, we're sorry. Alright, here, brother, check on this. No, we're good. So this is the main drag that comes out of town. The city hall is right behind us. And yeah, look at the sidewalks. You see how concerned about community and pedestrians they are here in Rancho Mirage? So in other words, if you live in the city and you're trying to get to City Hall, you best not be going by foot. I think that's supposed to be a bike lane, but I know that the drivers who come by are gonna assume that it is, whether it isn't or not. So when we come flying out, they get all mad. They're like, why aren't you in the bike lane? Because it's not a bike lane. I've been honked at probably 48 times here, just doing what I'm doing right now. Why not just go in the park? Well, there's usually a lot of handicapped folks and other folks, elderly and what have you in there. I stopped going up and down the Butler Abrams Trail for that reason. They give you the evil eye too. They don't like you in there. You're not from around here, are you? It's one of those kind of looks. You see how there's not enough room there for a bike and a car? Nobody bothers mentioning that right now. And guess what's happening right here on my right? Exactly. Everybody's rushing to get to the red light that they can't get to anyway because it's red. But they're going to risk my life, right? Because they're worried about missing the red light. And that's the whole flaw of the design right there, is that everybody's focused on the wrong thing. What I'm talking about happens again. You see you can see it from here, there's a bike lane, but it ain't there at the moment that the cars and the bikes both go through it at the same time, right? So it's really a game of Russian roulette in here. You really gotta hope to God that people are paying attention. And as you just saw, nobody is. And once again, when I say that being in a car turns you into a psychopath, that's what I mean. It's not that you're a psychopath. It's just that because you're in the car, you can't see what the going on, and you don't realize how you're constantly risking other people's lives to do what you're doing. So what I got to do here is wait, right? Because there's no room, and of course everybody and their brother's trying to get through. So, and if you then go, what happens is, now look at how fast I'm going. You see how I'm on everybody's way now? It's now 10 times more dangerous. And I guarantee you that truck, I wouldn't have gone. I saw him coming, but I saw that he didn't have anyone to the left of him. If he did have anyone to the left of him, I guarantee you he wouldn't have stopped and he wouldn't have moved over. Not enough. This guy's just gonna go right into me. Nice. Wasn't even looking. It's those amazing layouts here in Palm Desert that show what a deep regard for pedestrian safety and a strong sense of community that was required before each of these parking lots was laid out. Had to pass those rigorous standards. It's really loud right now because of the train. See the ravens? Welcome to the desert, my friends. You get a lot of people that live out here. You know, they golf out here and they do the suburbia thing, and they sit in their cars because it's hot as and they need air conditioning. But until you've spent hours at a time, whether it's in the summer or the winter, spring, fall, preferably all year long, until you've spent hours out here in the canyons and the flatlands and the dunes, in my opinion, you have no idea what the desert's about. You got no idea just how bleak things can get, and yet how much life is out here. And it's all about awareness and respect. You got both of those things, you're fine out here. It doesn't matter where you go, even around people. But problem is, you get a lot of people come out here from suburbia that are just doing the suburban thing, you know, and they don't have that awareness or that respect, you know. So they get into trouble out here, and you don't want to get in trouble out here. Very popular for people to say "I'll find out" these days, but this is a place, the desert, man, where you don't want to find out. All them crevices that you see up in them hills up there, that's what I'm talking about. See, now Saturday we're going to be riding up in Sky Valley, which is the valley between the hills here on the left and the mountains on the left. There's actually a big valley up there. It sits up higher than us, not by a huge amount, but it does. But it is higher. It's where a lot of the elevation comes from. It kind of goes all the way up here, and then it's like a big drop off down into Indio. Indio's over here. This is the I-10. You can see the La Quinta Hills here, right? So we're going to be coming in all the way south of La Quinta. We're going to be looping PGA West, I think, coming in through like Thermal. And I think they got us on the link up until like Indio or La Quinta before they reroute us back into suburbia. But I'm excited because it's the first time I'll be able to finally ride Dylan. A lot of people ride Dylan all the time. I just don't. I choose not to. I don't like it, man. Look at all the verbena out there, the purple. This stuff right here always reminds me of my mother in the best possible way. The smells amazing too. It really does smell amazing right now because there's sun and there's warmth and it's not windy, so it's just wafting off the flowers right now. It smells like somebody's laundry. Anyway, I will ride Dylan under the circumstances of the tour, because I feel with that many other riders and ushers and everything, it causes people to be aware enough out there that I'll feel safe enough doing it. But there's a club out here, DBC, Desert Bicycle Club, really creatively named. They're awesome. They ride up there all the time. I think they ride it like 5 times a week or something crazy. So I know there's hardcore folks that do that all the time. It's really tough. I feel really good right now, and I feel like I could not easily, but finish up and do a century, which at this point would only be another 20 miles. I'm glad I did one about a month and a half ago, because otherwise it had been so long that I would probably do it right now. But I really need to not do that, because I really need to recover for Saturday. Alright, I give up. As I say, we're mission accomplished.